Hello students, this is your Mr. GST who actually makes GST a good and simple tax for you. In this video, we are going to cover CA Inter GST mock test paper for mock test paper number 2 for September 2025 exams. Before going to the discussion, understand I have already uploaded in my YouTube channel Marathon Part 1 and 2 applicable for you, and September 25 amendments properly, a crystal clear video, and RTP September 2025 mock test paper 1 and 2 along with this we have already uploaded. You can use those resources, and also I will be coming up with an amendment quick revision video. Just in 10 minutes you will be revising all the amendments, which will be very useful for you. Even before entering into the exam hall, you can just see the video and enter into the exam hall, so that way it will be helpful for you for your revision that I will be uploading shortly. So enjoy this mock test paper discussion now. So let us see the case scenario 1 actually here. As you know, before going to see the case scenario, we will be studying first the questions. So let us see the questions first. Right. So look at the questions here. First one, what is the value of supply made to Suryan Enterprises assuming the interest on delayed payment is exclusive of GST? We know normally interest for delayed payment of tax, we will be adding it to the value of supply. Here they are saying it is excluding GST. So please be careful there. Next, what is the time of supply for advance money 4,50,000 received for supply of office chairs and balance payment 10,50,000? Office chairs means that they are talking about goods. And you know, for goods, actually for advance payment or for the balance payment, you know, time of supply is generally actual date of invoice or due date of invoice, as a case may be, whichever is earlier. For advances we don't calculate time of supply separately, so you should get only one time of supply. So if you look at the options here, sir, prima facie I feel like option D is the correct answer, because for advance and balance same time of supply will be there, there is no separate time of supply, so that should be the answer. Next, determine the value of outward supplies made by Reddy and Reddy Associates on which tax is payable under RCM. So outward supplies where tax is payable under reverse charge, we should see. Okay. Next, free gifts value of 50,000 provided by Reddy and Reddy Associates to each of its employees is supply? No, it is not a supply because 50,000 is a supply. No, because it is less than or equal to 50,000. You know that. So 50,000 means yes, you can claim the relaxation. Again, they said a supply. No, that is not a supply. Not a supply as gifts not exceeding 50,000 in value in a financial year by an employer to employee shall not be treated as supply in terms of Schedule 1. So this should be the right answer. That means without reading the case scenario, we have answered two questions. Understand that. Next, Reddy and Reddy Associates eligible to claim ITC in the month of December. So December month, we should see what is the ITC. Okay, first let us go with the case scenario now. So as I repeat, out of 5 MCQs, without reading even case scenario, we have answered 2 MCQs. That means 4 marks done. Now, Sir, Reddy and Reddy Associates is a partnership firm registered under GST, and it is in various types of business activities. Following activities are undertaken. Supplied taxable goods to Suryan Enterprises value 8 lakh in the month of April with a credit period of 1 month for payment. Thereafter, interest at 12% per annum is chargeable on the consideration. The payment is received from Suryan Enterprises after the lapse of 2 months from the date of supply. They said credit period 1 month for payment. Thereafter, interest 12% per annum is chargeable on the consideration. That means, sir, 8 lakhs is the consideration. On that, 12% per annum means, sir, here 12% per annum. Here, how many months delay? 2 months delay. After 2 months, they are paying the amount. 1 month time given, 1 month they have taken extra. That means 1 by 12. So that means it is 1% only. Okay, so 8 lakh 8,000 should be the answer. And they said interest amount is excluding GST. So if you remember the question, there is one question here, value of supply, interest on delayed payment. Sir, 8 lakh 8,000 will be the answer. Okay. Next one, sir, it enters into a contract for supply of 100 office chairs, 15,000 with Veer Mart on 21st August. Chairs removed from the warehouse of Reddy and Reddy Associations 5th September along with invoice of the said date. Weirmart has paid 30% of the total contract value on 21st August itself, 70% on 10th September. Sir, whatever the amount is there, sir, full value of supply, they are paying 30% advance, 70% later on. But for both the things, as I told you, time of supply is actual date of invoice or due date of invoice, whichever is earlier. Here, removal of goods is involved. So, removal of goods is involved. Now, the due date to raise invoice is the date of removal, 5th September. Here, the interesting thing is, sir, actual date of invoice is also 5th September. And due date of invoice as per section 31 is also 5th September. So obviously what? Obviously, whichever is earlier, 5th September should be the time of supply. And without reading the question, we have already answered this question. 5th September is the time of supply. Hope it is clear for you. Next, in the month of October, mm, provided services by way of transporting the goods in a goods carriage by road to Fisheries Department of Government of India, which is registered under GST only for the purpose of deducting tax at source. Reddy and Reddy Associates is registered GTA and charges 1,20,000 for the said service. Now please understand, if any services are provided to section 51 entities, in our class we will be discussing section 51 entities which are registered under GST, just to follow section 51 GTA services to them is exempt under GST. So this is exempt under GST. Okay, fine. Next, it also provides direct services of direct selling agent to an NBFC located in Mumbai in the month of December for 50,000. So if you understand direct selling agent services, sir, this is a partnership firm. If you see individual direct selling agent providing services will come under RCM. So this is not an individual direct selling agent. So this is a partnership firm. So this is FCM. Why I am talking about this now, sir? FCM sale 50,000. This is FCM sale 50,000 because there is a question here. If you remember, sir, they are asking us what are the outward supplies where reverse charge comes into picture in the question. So 2 points we have covered. No outward supply covered under RCM. Fine. Next, uh, organized a business exhibition in the month of December for which it received a sponsorship fees of 3 lakh from Kiran Limited. And if you see, sir, now sponsorship services, we know this RCM amendment is there where the supplier is any person other than a body corporate. So here Reddy and Reddy is the supplier taking the money and organizing the business exhibition which it received a sponsorship fees. Okay, so recipient is a body corporate 3 lakh. Sir, if you see, sorry supplier is Reddy and Reddy. So who is a person other than body corporate? Recipient is uh, 1 second. Recipient is Kiran Limited, who is a body corporate. So automatically RCM will come into picture for 3 lakhs. Okay, fine. This is the one. Okay, this is an RCM sale 3 lakhs. Till now we got only one fellow who is RCM outward supply. Next, it has a policy to provide gifts for employees 50,000 at the end of the financial year. All that fine. Okay, we have understood. It also avails services of Pratham Travel Agency for organizing a free vacation for its top performing employees in the month of December. GST of 50,000 was paid for the same in the same month. It also paid GST of 20,000 on membership fees for Teja Fitness Center. Uh, Tejas Fitness Center taken for its CEO. If you see, sir, for this question, for this MCQ, third MCQ, whatever information we want, we have already got, and the answer is 3 lakh. Only one supply which is covered under RCM we have seen sponsorship services. Fourth one we have already given the answer. Fifth one, Reddy and Reddy is eligible for ITC in the month of December. How much? See, if you understand, this is the information which we have already used and given answer for fourth MCQ. Fifth MCQ information is this. Sir, from Pratham Travel Agency for organizing a free vacation for its top performing employees. So you are purchasing something to provide vacation, all these things to for your top performing employees. So section 17 subsection 5 blocked credit this is. Okay. Next one, sir, it has paid 20,000 on membership fees. Again, this is a blocked credit. So here for these two purchases in the month of December, okay, in the month of December, you will not get any ITC. So the question is here regarding what is the ITC these people can claim for the month of December. So the answer is nil. So these should be the answers here. Okay. So this is the point, and there are independent MCQs, 3 independent MCQs. Yes. Number one, that is MCQ number 6. Mr. Sachin from Cochin, Kerala, and also Mr. Varun from Bangalore, Karnataka visits Delhi to provide soft skill training services to the employees of a limited company. Okay, they are going to give some training services to employees of a limited company. Training was conducted in hotel in Delhi, and employees also traveled to Delhi to attend the training. And the limited company is registered under GST in Mumbai, Maharashtra. What will be the place of supply? Sir, when you know when there is a training and performance appraisal services are provided, what is the place of supply? If the recipient is registered, obviously where the recipient is registered, that will be the place of supply. So in this case, Mumbai will be the answer, place of supply. Next, Mr. Dev, a jeweler registered in GST Mumbai, wants to sell his jewelry in a trade expo held in Delhi. Okay, so he's going to Delhi for the trade expo which is to be conducted in Delhi. Now, sir, what are the following statement which is false? Here you should be careful with these type of statements, because sometimes they will say false, sometimes they will say which is not false. So in such cases you should be extra careful. So please be careful here. The question is which is a false statement. He needs to get registration in Delhi as casual taxable person. This is true, sir. We want false statement. So this is true. He needs to pay advance tax on his estimated tax liability. This is true. He needs to mandatorily have a place of business in Delhi. Sir, without place of business, he can go for what? Casual taxable registration. So this is false. He needs to file mandatorily GSTR 1 or IFF 3B, whatever it is, in Delhi GSTN for the month or quarter as the case may be when he gets registered. This is also true. So as we need false statement, the answer will be option C. So option C is the correct answer for this. Okay. Hope it is clear for you. Next one. While filing the return for the month of November, Kiran and Co, which is registered under GST, generated e-challan 5th December for making payment of GST through RTGS of their bank. Okay. Determine the validity of e-challan generated by Kiran and Co for payment of taxes for the month of November. You know, normally when challan is generated, the validity of challan is 15 days. So here, 5th December, the challan is raised. So 15 days validity means 20th December will be the deadline. So till 20th December, the challan will be valid. So that is what with respect to our MCQ part. So let us move on to the descriptive part. So now if you look at this descriptive questions part, first there is a question for uh, first there is a question here, first 10 mark question, you know, actually, sir, very easy question actually, and I don't see any chances of these type of easy questions being tested in exam. If it is tested, you are seriously a lucky fellow. So first, you know, we should identify who is the person. Sir, this is a partnership firm, sir, where they got registered, Karnataka, sir, and you should see which month, sir. So the point is three things are important. Who he is, partnership firm, from where they are, Karnataka state, which month they are talking about, October month, details. Okay. So now coming to the point. As I told you, anytime when you are reading the question, when you are decoding the information, you should see whether it is supply, outward or inward, taxable or exempt, RCM, FCM. So CGST, SGST or IGST. If you make the notes here itself in reading the question, automatically solving the question will be very easy. Here they give intrastate taxable supply of direct selling agent to public sector undertaking. Sir, because this is a partnership firm, this is FCM. RCM will come only for individual direct selling agent. So 2,50,000, they only gave intrastate. So I can say, sir, this is output tax. CGST plus SGST should come into picture. So if I write like this, while solving the problem or the making the solution, it will be easy for me. Again and again, I need not read full question. Rent paid to a residential dwelling taken for running an office for providing DSA services. This is a purchase. Owner of the residential property was not registered. So this is an intrastate. Again, sir, this is C plus S, CGST plus SGST, but this is an input tax, ITC, but RCM will come into picture, that we should be very careful. So that also I'm writing here. Super. Purchased a car for official use, managing partners, interstate purchase. So here ITC is blocked, section 17 subsection 5. Here while solving the problem, when you're writing the solution, writing notes, the explanations are very very important. So please be careful when you're doing these adjustments in the solution. You should write a proper explanation, then only you will get the marks. Otherwise just for filling the numbers you will not get the marks. So please be careful. Next, availed information technology services for their business from partner's friend. Again, this is a purchase. Mr. Colin Hayes from Melbourne. So importation of services from Australia. But Mr. Hayes refused to take any consideration. And open market value for that is 1,25,000. Please understand, this is nothing but importation of service without consideration. Schedule 1 para 4 will come only if you are importing the service from a related person or own establishment located outside India. So here schedule 1 para 4 will not come into picture. So this is not a supply. So no GST. You ignore my handwriting, please. I'm just focusing on finishing the video quickly. So no GST liability. Okay, next. Provided training and performance appraisal. That means this is sale. In Bengaluru, this is important here, to following persons who Bhavya Private Limited, registered supplier in Kerala. That means this is, sir, place of supply is Kerala. So there is IGST. Okay. To Ujjwal, because when the recipient is registered, that registered place itself will be the place of supply. To Ujjwal Cones, a proprietorship concern of Rajasthan, not registered under GST. When the recipient is not registered, the place of supply will be what? Where the services are performed Bengaluru, Karnataka. So there is CGST plus SGST. Both are output tax, output tax. Okay. Now, sir, the rates of CGST, SGST are 9%, 9%, 18%. All the amounts given above are exclusive of taxes. All conditions necessary for availing ITC have been fulfilled. No opening balance of ITC. Turnover of Nithilan and Co was 2 crore in the previous financial year. Okay. What is the question they are asking? Net GST payable in cash by Nithilan and Co for the month of October. Correct legal provisions should form part of your answer. So I repeat, writing the proper provisions are very, 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 very important when you are writing the answer. So please be careful here. Okay. Now, if you see, sir, as we know, output tax now. Just roughly we will do this. Sir, first target is calculating output tax. You know, IGST, CGST, SGST is the format I follow. And when you are writing the answers, there should be particulars column. In that itself, you write all the reasoning properly. Don't take after the solution is over. At the end, I will write working notes, all these things and all. Don't consider. Write the working notes, everything in the particulars column itself. So have a box like this. Okay. And you proceed. So here, first we have output tax 2,50,000. Sir, on 2,50,000, you also maintain one amount column also here. Okay. So for 2,50,000, IGST will not come. We have to see CGST, SGST, 9%, 9%, correct? So CGST, SGST, sir, 9%, 9%, 2,50,000, 9%, 9% will be 22,500, 22,500. Okay, this adjustment is over. Next, first step, what we will do, we will calculate output tax. So please be careful with that. Next one, sir, 3 lakhs and 1 lakh. If you see, 3 lakh is IGST. So 18%. So 54,000 is the amount there. Next, 1 lakh is there. Guys, I'm just doing it quickly so that you understand the adjustments. So presentation part, everything you can just take care. So 9,000, 9,000. So these are my output supplies and output tax which we have calculated. So one output tax, another, another. So 3 transactions we have filled here. So it is my total output tax is 54,000 and 22,500 plus 9,000. So it will be 31,500, 31,500. Okay. Now our next step is calculation of, first step calculation of output tax, second step calculation of input tax, third step set off calculation of ITC. Again, what is the format? Sir, particulars, amount, IGST, CGST, SGST. So this will be the format. Okay. Now, sir, how many purchases we had? Sir, we had this purchase for 25,000, CGST and SGST, but it is RCM. But still, sir, when you are solving the RCM point, you forget for some time there is something called RCM and calculate ITC, because even if it is an RCM purchase, you can happily take ITC. The only thing is you should discharge the GST liability on that. So that 25,000 amount, CGST, SGST, yeah. Yes, 25,000. You write the reasoning, all these things, why it is RCM, all that also, and you can take ITC of it. So 25,000. On 25,000, how much is that CGST and SGST? 2250, 2250, right? So this one is done. Now, sir, one more purchase is there, 9 lakh. Here you cannot take ITC. So write down here, sir, purchase of car, all these things, blocked credit, section 17, subsection 5, all those reasons you write down, and you just put here amount column, it is 9 lakhs. But can you take ITC? No, you cannot take ITC. So amount columns you fill nil. Next one, sir, this one also we have done the adjustment. This one is not at all a supply, so you just write down the reason for that, import of services, all this stuff. So it is not a supply only, so that way you finish. And next page you don't have any other purchases. So these are the total purchases. If you see total ITC, what is the total ITC eligible for you? Sir, 2250, 2250 is a total ITC eligible for you. Now what is the last step? Net GST payable in cash. Okay. So now output tax. How much? IGST, CGST, SGST. Sir, output tax is 54,000, 54,000, 31,500, 31,500. Guys, I repeat, please ignore my handwriting. Okay. Next, minus input tax. So what is input tax? Sir, input tax is nothing but 2250, 2250. So what is the answer here? Mm, it is 54,000 and 29,250, 29,250. Sir, this is the GST payable, net GST payable. Okay. But sir, we also have RCM liability which should be paid in cash. So whenever there is RCM liability, this is how you do the problem. You just forget that RCM and take ITC, all the stuff. But after finishing the problem, you should not forget that. You should remember that there is RCM liability also. You should add it to the net GST payable in cash, because this is the amount which you should pay. So 2250, 2250. Again, sir, it is 54,000, 31,500, 31,500. Now you will get a doubt. Sir, again, however, we are getting the same answer. No, sir, should we do all these adjustments? You should show to the examiner, yes, you know this concept, and because here there is only one purchase, that purchase is also covered under RCM, you are getting this type of adjustment. If there are 3, 4 purchases or 2 purchases, one is RCM, one is FCM, the answer here and here will change. So please be careful, follow this step carefully. When there are RCM purchases, forget that is RCM, take ITC fully, finish the problem, do output tax, input tax, set off everything, and finally just make sure you are doing the adjustment for RCM liability. So add RCM liability to the net GST payable. So this is the net GST payable, net GST payable in cash. Okay, so that way please be careful. Okay, so this is the 10-mark problem which we have finished. Okay, now let us move on to the next question, the 5-mark question. So the next one, if you see now, so what is the next question? The 5-mark question. Vishwas Limited, a registered supplier, has supplied machinery to Nandan Limited. So Vishwas is supplier and Nandan is recipient, registered in same state. Following particulars regarding the same, and you are supposed to calculate the value of taxable supply here. Okay. So price of the machinery exclusive of taxes and discounts. So it is 5,50,000. Okay, that will be the value of supply. Next one, sir, installation and testing. If you see installation and testing, which are not included in the price, obviously incidental expenses, we will add that. Part fitted in the machinery at the premises of Nandan Limited, amount has been paid by Nandan Limited directly to the supplier. However, it was Vishwas Limited's liability to pay the said amount, and the said amount was not recorded in the invoice issued by Vishwas Limited. You know, any obligation of the supplier, if it is discharged by the recipient, we will add it to the value of supply. So here that 30,000 should be added to the value of supply. Next, discount at 2% on the price of machinery mentioned at serial number 1 above. So for this price, 2% discount we are giving. So you add these two things, and discount, what we will do, obviously we will minus. So 5,50,000 into 2%, you will get 11,000. Next, Vishwas Limited also provides additional discount at 1% at the end of the year based on additional purchases of the other machinery, which adjustment is made at the end of the financial year without any change to individual transactions. So that means the discount is given here after the supply is made, and when the discount is given after the supply is made, you should understand, sir, we have three conditions, correct? In that one condition is the discount should be related to an invoice. So this discount cannot have any adjustment or cannot have any exclusion here. We cannot exclude that. So the answer will be, I repeat here, discount is given after the supply is made, and after the supply is made, discount is given. It should be as per the terms of the agreement, and it should be linked to an invoice, and the recipient should have a reverse proportionate ITC. Here, this discount is not linked to an invoice, so you cannot give any exclusion or benefit here. So the answer will be 5,84,000. That will be the value of taxable supply. Very easy question. Now let us move on to the second question. Right. So now, if you see the next question, so the next question is, sir, whether GST is exempted in the following independent supplies. They are asking whether GST is exempted in the following independent supply of services. Now, services provided by a private transport operator to Shaurya Boys Higher Secondary School by way of transporting the students to and from the school. You remember in our class we would be discussing Hardik Pandya is renting a bus to Rohit Sharma to transport the students of Mumbai Indians English Medium High School. So exempt under GST. Sir, when we are renting the vehicle, uh, services provided by, sorry, here, sir, you know, educational services we would have discussed. Sir, when you are providing transportation services to education institution which is providing preschool or up to higher secondary school, that is 12th equivalent, that is exempt under GST. So this is exempt under GST, write down that reason. So here, if you remember, five purchases for education institutions are exempt under GST. One is transportation, the other is catering, we have seen, and next one we have seen anything incidental to the like security, cleaning, housekeeping to the schools, and this anything which is related to conducting the examinations or admission, all these things, and online periodical journals, all that. So if you remember that point, sir, here we are providing transportation services to the education institution for their students, faculty, staff, exempt under GST. That reasoning you can give and you write the answer. Next, services provided by vehicle parking to general public. We have never read this point in exemptions. So this is taxable. Whenever we are going to shopping mall, obviously we are paying GST on the parking fees also. So there is no such exemption for vehicle parking to general public in shopping malls. So it is obviously taxable. So that is what the point. So this is part A of the question. Next, there is part B of the question. If you see part B of the question here, sir, in this part B of the question, what they are saying. So in this question, if you see here, Mr. Vivan, who is running a repair center registered under GST, where electronic goods are repaired and serviced. His repair center is located in Rajasthan and he is not engaged in making any interstate supply of services. His aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year is 45 lakhs. Super. With reference to the provisions of GST, CGST Act 2017, examine whether Vivan can opt for composition scheme under section 10 subsection 1 and 2 for the current financial year, or he is eligible for composition scheme under section 10(2)(a). Considering the option of payment of tax considering the option of payment of tax available to Mr. Vivan, compute the amount of total tax payable by him in the current financial year, assuming that his aggregate turnover in the current financial year is 35 lakhs. Now, if you understand, please see section 10(1) and 2 are available only for the people dealing with goods and restaurant service provider. He is doing the repairs of electronic goods. He is a other service provider. For him, 10(1) and 2 is not available. So for that, you give the reasoning. You explain section 10, subsection 1 and 2. So you tell section 10 as per CGST Act. See, how do you present the answer here? Sir, as per the provisions of section 10, subsection 1 and 2 of CGST Act 2017, the composition scheme benefit is available if the aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year does not exceed 150 lakhs or 75 lakhs if they are residing in, if they are doing business in special category states. And this option is available only for the people who are dealing with goods, either the manufacturers or traders, and only if they are providing restaurant services, then they are eligible for the scheme under section 10(1) and 2. And section 10 subsection 2a is available for the people who are not eligible for composition scheme under section 10 subsection 1 and 2, where the aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year does not exceed 50 lakhs. So this way you write the provision, and below that, in the given case, as Mr. Vivan is running a repair center, he cannot opt for composition scheme under section 10 subsection 1 and 2 because it is not a restaurant service. So he has an option to go for section 10 subsection 2a because his aggregate turnover, however, is not exceeding 50 lakhs in the preceding financial year. Next point you can write, what is that? Any person who is opting for composition scheme benefit under section 10 subsection 2a is not allowed to make interstate outward supply, as in the question he is not providing any interstate outward supply, so he is eligible for availing composition scheme benefit. Next step, sir, when composition scheme benefit is availed under section 10 subsection 2a, the tax liability shall be discharged at the rate of 6%, that is 3% CGST and 3% SGST on the turnover made by such taxpayer. Below that, so in the given case, Mr. Vivan has made 35 lakhs turnover. So on that you calculate whatever 6% is it, 3% CGST, 3% SGST, you show that separately and write down in the answer. And one more thing they have asked, will your answer be different if Mr. Vivan procures few items required for providing repair services from neighboring state of Madhya Pradesh? See, please understand here, as I told you, sir, you cannot make interstate outward supplies if you have opted composition scheme, but you can make interstate inward supplies. There is no such restriction. So you will write there, if Mr. If any person opting for composition scheme benefit cannot provide interstate outward supplies, but there is no such restriction on interstate inward supplies. Hence, in the given case, Mr. Vivan procuring few items from Maharashtra or Madhya Pradesh, whatever it is, that is interstate inward supply, there is no such restriction on that. So he can happily avail composition scheme benefit by, even though when he is procuring some items from Madhya Pradesh. Like this, if you write the answer, that is over. So this is a 5-mark question. Understand, this is not your, again I repeat, not like your law exam paper where you write the facts, provisions, analysis, conclusion, all that stuff not required. Write the provision properly. So that is your provision. Below that, linking the provision whatever is there in your mind. If you remember the provision properly, automatically drafting the answer like this is going to be easy for you. And GST will be using more of regularly frequently used words, not that greatly technical wordings, all that stuff. So you will not be struggling how to present the answer here. Okay, hope it is clear for you. That is how we present the answer for this case study based questions. Okay, so the next question, if you see, um, Karthik is a chartered accountant in practice and registered in GST. On a query regarding return filing process by potential client, Karthik has represented him as a GST practitioner. Karthik is of view that since he is a qualified chartered accountant with GST registration in the name of proprietorship firm, he also qualifies as a GST practitioner. Is the understanding of Karthik correct? Discuss. One new type of question actually. See, GST practitioner concept we have seen. In GST practitioner concept, we have seen, sir, first of all, you should be like Indian citizen and we have seen sound mind, all that stuff, and you should be like having certain qualifications or certain experience. Sir, in experience category, okay, this guy will not come, but in qualification category, sir, if you are a qualified chartered accountant, you are eligible to enroll yourself as a GST practitioner, and you should follow the procedure and you should get the GST practitioner certificate. But there is nowhere in the law given that if you are a qualified chartered accountant holding certificate of practice and registered under GST, you are called as a GST practitioner. There is no such concept. So the understanding of Karthik is not correct here. So that is what the point. So that way you can just proceed with the answer. Next, one more question is regarding, sir, there is no onus on of filing any monthly or annual statement by e-commerce operator. Examine the technical veracity of the statement by explaining the relevant provisions. Sir, when you are an e-commerce operator, sir, you are liable to collect tax at source at least. So TCS obligation is there for you. So when you are an e-commerce operator where TCS obligation is there for you, you are also required to file this monthly statement and annual statement. Monthly statement at least GSTR 8 and annual statement GSTR 9B you should file. So monthly, next month 10th, and annual yearly next 31st December with the deadline, you have to file an annual statement. That provisions are applicable for you. So here saying that no onus of filing monthly or annual statement by e-commerce operator is not correct as per the legal provisions section 52. Okay, so that is what the concept. So this statement is invalid. Okay, that is what question number 3. So let's move on to the last question, question number 4. So the last question, if you see, what is the place of supply for services by way of transportation of goods, including by mail, courier, where supplier and recipient are located in India? Only in your syllabus where supplier and recipient are located in India only it is there. So section 12. So if you know transportation of goods for service, transportation of goods services, section 12 subsection 8 of IGST Act, it says, sir, if the recipient is registered, where he is registered, that will be the place of supply. If the recipient is unregistered, obviously what, where the goods are handed over. Even though goods are being transported outside India, also the same provisions. So the place of supply will be where the goods are handed over. Okay, if he is registered, his registered address, recipient. Next one. So the next one is, what would be the place of supply? What would be the place of supply for services provided by an event management company for organizing a sporting event for a sports federation which is held in multiple states? So again, this is regarding sir, place of supply where section 12 subsection uh, 6, organizing the event. 6 or 7 now. So it is 12 subsection 7, sorry. Okay, 6 is admission to an event, so 7 is organizing the event. So now the point is, what is the place of supply for this when event is organized? If the recipient is registered, the registered address. If the recipient is unregistered, where the event is actually held. But if the event is held outside India, the location of the recipient will be taken as place of supply. But here the point is, when the event is held in multiple states, sir, when event is happening in multiple states and we are organizing that, place of supply will be each such state. And in what way we will apportion the value will be apportioned, if you remember, as per the agreement, as per the contract or the terms and conditions agreed between the event organizer and the customer. But if the terms of the contract did not mention in what basis it should be apportioned the value, all that stuff, then you should follow rule 5. Rule 5 says follow generally accepted accounting principles. So a theory based question, you can just check the answer and read it. And next, finally, explain the meaning of consignment value of goods. Consignment value of goods, we have seen this in e-way bill concept, if you remember. And consignment value, if it is exceeding 50,000, we should generate e-way bill mandatory, all that. So there they have given e-way bill meaning. So if you remember consignment value meaning, sir, it is value under section 15 plus all the taxes, CGST, SGST, IGST or UTGST and GST compensation cess, but uh, we will exclude any value of exempt supplies. Okay, if you are providing exempt supplies in the same invoice also, that exempt supplies value we will exclude. So regarding that, if you write properly the answer, that is more than sufficient, and this is for 6 mark. And always in fourth question there will be some surprise straight theory questions where you should be ready for that. So however, you have one choice question, you can take care of it. So for this, please read the answer whatever is given. So this is the concept I have explained to you. So hope you have enjoyed this mock test paper 2 discussion. See students, I tell always, please make sure you are enjoying your preparation, don't take too much of stress. In the exam, the more cool and calm you are, the brain functioning will be better. So I wish you all the very best. So see you all successful, and wishing you again a best of luck from my end. This is your Mr. GST signing off. Thank you and Jai Hind.